Hi, this is Coach Colette, host of the Start Within podcast, and welcome to this week's episode of Financial Fridays. Well, to me, it was very ironic that the day after the U.S. election this week was actually International Stress Awareness Day. And with all of the uncertainty that we have been dealing with this week, it really seems important to reinforce the fact that we need be aware of stress. And I know that sounds odd because, of course, you know when you are stressed, but do you also know how stress manifests in your body? We know that stress occurs when the mind and body are responding to a demand or a challenge. And while we can have some small amounts of stress that can be beneficial, it's the unchecked and prolonged chronic stress that causes the negative effects on our brain and our bodies. It can impact our sleep, our digestion, our mood, our irritability, our blood pressure, our risk for heart disease, and our immune system. So for this week, it really is important that you be mindful of how your body and how your mind has been dealing with this situation and dealing with all of this uncertainty and dealing with thoughts of anger, resentment, disappointment, fear, all of the things that you've been dealing with. And really, I know I say it probably nearly every week, at least particularly in 2020, to be thinking about what are the ways that you are taking care of yourself. How are you setting boundaries, both your mental boundaries as well as your physical boundaries? Remembering the fact that no is a complete sentence. And also in this time, it's important to recognize what previous situations, traumas, or negative experiences this current situation has triggered in you. While it has been uncomfortable and frustrating and annoying and disappointing, stressful situations like this U.S. election can also trigger previous traumatic experiences. So you want to know, what is this triggering in you that may be even more than just what's happening in the current moment? You also want to be aware of your coping mechanisms. How is it that you have been navigating and managing your stress this week? There are more healthy coping mechanisms like using essential oils, doing deep breathing exercises, meditating, listening to music, reading, journaling, punching a pillow, all things that are healthy and helpful. And you also want to be aware of and mindful of the not so healthy coping mechanisms. Coping mechanisms that, if continued for too long periods of time, could also cause more unhelpful or unhealthful effects, such as alcohol consumption, smoking, and other substances that you might use that can help in the short term, but may not be as helpful in the long term. So really, it's a matter of how can you take care of yourself? How can you take care of your mind, your body, your spirit, and give yourself that time for self-care? That's all for me for now. Get ready and listen up to today's tip from Singh.
Hello everyone, this is Singh, aka Investing, of the Investing Podcast with your weekly Financial Friday tip. Are your finances in a healthy place? Now is the best time to look into them and see where your money is going and look at how you can save more, cut more spending, or have a side hustle to increase your awareness and decrease your finances and money flow. With that said, that is your weekly Financial Friday tip, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, it's Coach Colette, and I wanted to share a little bit more about Young Living, the pioneering force in the essential oils industry, with a commitment to research and understanding and sharing the power of essential oils. What are essential oils? Essential oils are harvested from farm-grown or wild-crafted plants, herbs, and trees, and they are far more powerful than these botanicals because they're so concentrated. For thousands of years, essential oils have been used to enhance our lives as beauty aids and dietary supplements. Young Living offers hundreds of single oils, blends, and oil-infused products that each contain the optimal levels of those oils. Whether you use them for aromatherapy, personal care, or household solutions, you'll find every aspect of your life gets a boost with a few drops of essential oils. If you'd like to learn more and get some Young Living oils for yourself, you can visit bit.ly/startwithinoils and get ready for your first purchase of these powerful botanical blends. Hi, this is Coach Colette, and yes, you are listening to this week's Unplugged segment. So, this has been a week. I feel like I've been saying that almost every Friday in 2020. And as we continue to wait for the final outcome of this election, I feel like that this week has been an experience that really reinforces the need and answers the question as to why am I developing a mental health support chatbot for women of color. Women of color are tired, particularly Black women. We are tired of doing the right thing in many cases and waiting for the rest of the world to catch up. I wanted to share, though, some of my experiences this week because I wanted to distract myself in a healthy way from all of the uncertainty that was going on. And so I spent some time navigating around one of the chatbot building platforms that we may use to help build out the prototype for Libbie. And I can't even tell you the last time that I saw a C prompt on my laptop, and probably never on this laptop that I'm using now. So I will expect that all of the developers that are listening to this podcast are chuckling at me at the moment, and that's okay. So I spent some time doing some experimenting. I'm taking this tutorial on one of the chatbot building platforms because even though I am not a developer by training, I think it's important for me to understand how these bots are built. And so I'm learning a whole bunch of new language about intents and utterances. And the experience of working on this platform was very interesting. It reminds me of the fact that in some ways, developing can test our aspects of mindfulness, even just to the patience of how long it took for the stacks to load onto my laptop and all of the thoughts that would go through my mind as I was waiting for something to load up on my machine and immediately almost second guessing myself. Did I do it wrong? And if I couldn't mimic or replicate the example that was part of the tutorial, feeling like, oh my God, I can't do this. And yet, in the end, I was able to replicate the bot that was part of the tutorial example, and I felt really proud of myself. I think it's important for us to focus on the things that we enjoy doing and focus on ways to support ourselves as we navigate through these times. Who knows? I probably won't ever become a developer full stop, or I guess full stack. But I feel like I definitely understand more. And what's always ironic to me about the process is that how little things like a comma, a colon, in the wrong spot can make a huge difference. And I think that extrapolating that back out to our situation that we're in, we are literally counting votes one by one, and each one of those votes are what makes the difference. Even if this doesn't turn out in the way that you might hope or that we might want, we still want to recall that our efforts make a difference. Even as I had voted last Wednesday, knowing that that was just one step, and if people have been surprised on the tightness or the closeness of this race, knowing that election day is just one day, it's just one data point, and that there is so much work that still needs to be done. Again, which reinforces my intention and my desire and my passion to build Libbie, to support Black and brown women as we continue on this journey. And I don't usually like to use the war references, but as we continue on our fight, we continue on our fight for justice, as we continue on our fight for equality, as we continue on our fight for mental well-being, as we continue on our fight for physical well-being. I think that's all for my little bit of a ramble today. I hope that you find ways to care for yourself, nurture yourself, get out into nature, look at the trees, look at the flowers, look at the plants, look at the birds, look at the animals, and allow nature to rejuvenate you. Allow nature to revitalize you. Take care, be well, and we'll be speaking again soon. So what is your takeaway from this week's Financial Fridays segment? What might you do differently around your money and your mindset? For more financial advice, you can check out Suki's podcast, Invest Singh, where I also share tips on his Wellness Wednesdays segment. If you enjoyed this episode and haven't already subscribed, you can do so on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Coach_Colette for more inspiration on personal growth and wellness. Tune in next Friday for another episode and get ready to start within to finish strong.